Hello everybody and welcome back to Sassy Granny Vlogs, new vlog. This is Monday, by the way. It's morning time, it's around 11 something, so it's almost lunchtime. And today's the day Gracie's supposed to come after, around 1 o'clock or after, depends on when they get through with school. But anyway, I done got up early and ate and took my medicine, read my Bible, prayed, did my exercises. And here I am now. So I thought I would get another vlog started. And actually, the way I take a long time talking, this vlog may start and end in one clip because this is going to be a chit-chat vlog. I got a couple of things I want to talk to y'all about. I got to figure out how to hold my phone comfortable. Okay. So I was watching a video. Now, what's that? That was this morning. Earlier this morning. Because I watch videos when I eat breakfast. So it was during that time. And I'm going to yawn, y'all. I've been yawning. So I'm sorry. So I watched a video. And it was Darlene McFate. The one that has Parkinson's. And she was telling a story of something they did years ago. They had this dinner party type thing that was called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And she was talking about it and explaining it to me, and it sounded in her video to everybody that watched it, she was explaining it too. It sounded interesting. And anything that I come across like that that's interesting to me, that's something different and new to me that I've never heard of, I want to know more about it. So I researched. First off through Siri. Then I go to Google and research there. Then I go to YouTube and see if they have any videos on it. I couldn't find any videos on it. Now, there is a movie called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner that's an old movie from back in the day, the year before I was born, 1967. I was born in 68. So, anyway, but that's not what that was about. But I did find out what it's about. Kinda, sorta. I still really don't know every little detail about it. But anyway, it sounds pretty cool. So what it is, it's these dinner parties that a group of people, there's a host that hosts these dinner parties. And she makes up an invitation and sends it out to everybody. So if there's like a whole bunch of people, the host on the invitation, she gets these people to put their name down saying they want to do it. But then they have to mark off if they want to be a host, to host another group, from what I'm understanding, or if they just want to be a guest to the dinner. But they also get to check off if they want to bring an entree, if they just want to bring the before and after nibbles, they called it, or if they want to bring a dessert. And everybody has to bring their own drink. Well, that's normally, with most of the people in the world, like alcohol drinks, champagnes and wines and all that kind of stuff. And I don't drink and do all that kind of stuff. So for us, it would just be other kinds of drinks or whatever if we did this. But we probably ain't going to do this. We don't know very many people. We're older, it would be fun, but I wouldn't be able to get my family, my husband, and my girls to do something like this. I've never been able to get them to do anything fun like this. But anyway, so the host sets each group up. So she's like the organizer, I guess. And then there's a different host. So the organizer sets each host up with their guests. And the host don't know who their guest is going to be until they get there. So, you set the date. You can have like a theme with your food-wise. It could be a Mexican theme and so on. So the host that's actually doing the dinner has to fix some part. I would have thought that would have been the entree, but then down further, the guest, where you check if you want to be a host or if you just want to be a guest, you can check if you want to bring the entree or the nibbles or whatever, and everybody has to bring their own drink. But so that confused me on what actually does the host make about the meal, if the guests get to decide, check if they want to bring an entree. So it's like there's so many. I guess there's a person that would bring an entree, a person that would bring a before and after nibble, and a person, or maybe, because it says 4 to 6 or maybe 8 guests at a dinner party. Anyway, it's fun and interesting because you don't know, and it could be strangers that you've never met, or it could be someone that you have met, because you have all these people that say they want to do this, okay? Well, then the organizer sets all the hosts up with the different other people that said wanted to be guests. Well, yeah, it could be someone you know, or it might not be nobody you know. You may have some people you know and some people you don't know at your dinner party. So they set everything up, they set the time, they get everybody, they let everybody know what they bring in, and they give them the time and the place and the address when it comes time to get there. But up until then, even the guests don't know where they're going until they're given the address. This is where you go, and that's like closest to the dinner party. Well, then you go there, and then your host, their home where you went, greets you, and that's when they see who their guest is. Well, you sit around and talk and have like a before dinner nibbles, and then you have your dinner at the table, and then you'll have after dinner nibbles where you'll have a dessert too, but then you'll have after dinner nibbles and drink and stuff like that. And that's just kind of fun and interesting. Like I said, that's the only way I know how to explain it. I'm not good at explaining things. I'm not even really good at understanding all the details. If I can't find them, I couldn't really find all the details. But it's called a Guess Who dinner party. And it would be fun. I would love to do something like that, especially back when I was younger. But like I said, getting my family to do anything like that, and then I don't know many other people, so that would be kind of hard to do that, But I just wanted to come on and chat and talk with y'all about it, and maybe ask y'all, have y'all ever heard of that? These guess who's coming to dinner parties? And I'm sure you could plan like little games and stuff to play at your party and stuff like that, or whatever, Like I said, I didn't learn all the details about it. So let me know in the comments below if you have ever heard of this, or not. If you have ever hosted one of these types of dinner parties, or if you have ever just been the guest to one of these types of dinner parties. And if you know more about it and could maybe help me explain in the comments all the details about it, how it goes, because I myself would be interested in knowing more about it. Let us know in the comments below, please. If you can find a good video, because what helps me better is a video. Someone that describes and explains, kind of like a tutorial type thing about it. If you know of one that explains all the details of this dinner party, please send me or put the link of it in the comments below if you can do that. I don't even know if you can do that, but look like you should be able to. But anyway, or let me know, give me the name of it, let me know where to find it, because I'm interested into, really watching that and learning and seeing more about it. I would love to do one like that. Okay, so having watched Darlene's video and heard about that, and it got me interested, so I searched more about it and have learned a little bit more about that. That made me think of another type of dinner party that we actually got to be guests to way back in the day when we were real young. our girls were toddlers. We lived in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And we had just, we had just moved there. We had just started going to this church, found the church we was going to go to. So we still didn't know everybody in the church, and we was still learning everybody in the church. And it was the church that put this on. It was kind of like, see, we were younger back then, so it was kind of like the youth group. But no, there was a lot of the elderlies that was involved and went too. So maybe it was just the whole church thing that did it and went. But this was fun too, and I'm so glad that I even got to participate in something like this back then, and that I learned about it and everything. And I'd love to do another one. But like I said, I don't know many people. But anyway, maybe I ought to bring it up to my church, the lady that's over our ladies. Of course, that would just be the ladies. So I don't know how we would do that. Because, I mean, ladies and men, young and old, even their kids was brought to this, So it was just the whole church thing that done it. But now this one, it's called, I want to get it right and see if I can remember it right. Progressing a progression dinner. Or they may have called it supper. A progression supper. And what it is, they asked who would want to be the hosts. This has a bunch of hosts. And, for the dinner, the supper, the meal. So everybody got to choose what kind of host they wanted to be. Because it was a progression supper, okay? So the families, the hosts that were going to be the host, at their house. So there was one family that hosted because a big meal that you have, and I really don't even know all the proper names to each part of a dinner, but I mean, you have your salad before. Then this is what I know of, your salad. And I don't know if that involves soup and salad or just salad and then maybe soups later. Does it come together with it or whatever? But anyway, you have salad. And then you have your entree, which is your main thing. And then you have your vegetables. And then you have like the dessert. But anyway, so like one family did that. One family had the salad. And maybe you would even do like, what do they call the other things they bring you actually before? I never can think of this name. At restaurants, they even have that part of the menu. The first little things, it's like kind of like what that lady was calling the before dinner nibbles, would be y'all probably know, y'all are probably hollering it at me, it's this, and I can't hear you, and I can't think of it, so you know what I'm talking about, hopefully. So, there was a host that hosted that, then there was a host that hosted salad. Seemed like there was a host that hosted soup, too, that was even different and separate from the salad. Then there was the host that hosted the entree. Then there was the host that hosted vegetables. But they had like a couple of vegetables. They had green beans and they had corn. This is at our church we went to back in the day when we was young. And then there was the host that hosted the dessert. So that's 6 different places. If I'm remembering right, that I think we went to 6 different families in our church hosted our dinner. Everybody else, so that person at their house cooked and fixed that part that they were doing. Everybody else at the church, we all got in our cars. So you can imagine all these families. We was in a line of cars because we all left the church. We got to the church and started to the church, and the other families was at their homes preparing these different parts of the meal. So then our church was in a line of cars, and we drove to that first house, which was the entree. No, not the entree. the little nibbles part that I can't think of what the word is. And we went in their home. We wasn't sitting down at the table because it was our whole church, and it was a big church, so some people were sitting around in chairs in the living room, standing up in the kitchen, or sitting at the table, standing around in the living room, the entryway, the hallway. The door was even open, and some people was outside standing around with these plates of stuff eating and talking and fellowshipping. And so it was like those nibbles, whatever that word is, that I can't think of, and I need somewhere to put my hand. So we did that there. Then everybody got back in their car, and we drove from there to the next house, which had the salad. So we was in that house, fellowshipping, eating the salad. Then we all got back in our car, and we drove to the next house, which I'm thinking had soup. So we all fellowshipped and enjoyed the soup there, Then and the host from each house, like the first host, all went with us to do the salad, and so on, so that everybody was included, because they also ate at their own house as well. They didn't just serve us and then didn't get to eat, Then after the soup, we all got in our cars and we drove to the next house, and we was eating the entree there. I can't remember what the entree was, but we fellowshipped and ate the entree. Then we all got in our cars and we drove to the next house, and we all was eating the vegetables, the other parts of the main meal, and which I'm remembering was green beans and corn. And I can't remember what the entree was, but I remember salad and I remember soup. But anyway, so then after the vegetables were ate, we all got in a car and we left. And we had something to drink at every house, of course. And then we left and we drove and went to the next house, which, had the dessert, and I can't remember what the dessert was. Probably some kind of cake, or maybe ice cream, or maybe both. I don't know. But, sorry. But we was there fellowshipping and eating, the dessert of the meal. And this took a long time. We didn't get in a hurry to go to the next house for each part. It was a slow progression supper. And it was fun having to get in the car and go to the next house to get the next part of your meal to eat. That was so fun. And I would love to do that again. So that made me think of that too as well. So now I want to ask y'all, have any of you ever heard of that? The progression dinner or supper. Have y'all ever heard of that one? Have you ever been to one? Have you ever hosted a part of the meal to one of those? Let me know about that in the comments below, because I'd be curious to know about that too as well. All right, so that's, we're 18 minutes in. 2 more minutes and it's 20 minutes long, and, I really try to get it under that if I can, because if it goes higher than 20 minutes, it gives me trouble going up, and I don't like that. So I'm going to let this be the end of this vlog and close it out. And I've done put one vlog up. No, that was yesterday. So actually, I can put this one up today and then go ahead and get started on my next one, which, if I get through with it in time, can go up tomorrow. If I don't get through with it in time, it'll have to be the next day or the next day. It depends on if I can find something to vlog about. You know how that goes. So anyway, yeah, please answer my questions in the comments below and let me know about the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner party and the progression dinner or progression supper party. Let me know about it. Sounds fun. I want to do it again. I wish I knew more people. I wish my girls and husband would be interested in doing stuff like this. Anyway, they're party poopers. All right, guys, I'm going to let y'all go, and we'll see y'all in the next vlog. Toodaloo!